Well, it's a very, very good morning to you, and finally coming to you live from the Embassy of the People's Republic of China. And it's an incredible occasion to actually be here. And I must tell you, what an incredible embassy. It is beautiful. Whether you're standing on the outside and then making your way inside, it's just got such culture and tradition as you arrive here. An embassy that's been open since 2010, and relations between South Africa and China are exceptionally strong, as you do know. And that's something we'll focus on in the broadcast. But the reason that we're broadcasting from the embassy this morning is that the annual Heads of Mission Conference is taking place here. And now this is honestly something very important, and something that kind of happens that you don't even know about. I mean, we have got heads of missions based all over the world in different countries at different organizations that are working tirelessly to promote South Africa and to do work with relations between different countries and South Africa. So if I look at how many, we've got over 100 missions all over the world, and the Department of International Relations and Cooperations is, of course, in charge of all of them. Now, we've got the Minister with us. It's not often we get to have the Minister of International Relations in South Africa, Ms. Maite Nkoana-Mashabane. So nice to see you. Welcome. I should say welcome to South Africa.
Good morning, Leon, and to all our viewers. And it's indeed a pleasure to be home.
Yeah, it is. Something you were telling me, you get to be home between, what, 8 and 10 days a month?
Yes.
Maximum?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're all over the world. I mean,
yes.
100 missions, is that an accurate number?
126.
126 missions around the world?
Yes, of embassies, high commissions, and consul general offices, and other representative offices, satellite offices.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, this particular conference that's happening now, it's an annual conference. What happens? Do the heads of mission come back for the conference?
Well, the heads of mission conference that is taking place now, it's in our main building at DECO. That's where majority of our ambassadors are and have been since Monday. We just took a sample of them to honor the invitation of the Chinese embassy here as we celebrate the year of South Africa in China in this year, where we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of freedom and democracy in South Africa. At the beginning of each and every term, as it is now, the 5th administration, we thought it wise to invite all our ambassadors to come back home to get a sense of what the priorities of the 5th administration led by President Zuma are about. That we're focusing now on the implementation of our National Development Plan, that we're now focusing on our national interest, as in how they would contribute to radical economic transformation through the implementation of the National Development Plan.
Okay.
So that's why they are here.
Yeah.
And the whole week they've been receiving presentations from the economic cluster ministers, from the security cluster ministers. Of course, I officially opened our meeting. As soon as we finish with this interview, I'm going back to the building. We will be receiving the Deputy President of the Republic, Deputy President Ramaphosa, and on Sunday, the ambassadors will have tea with the President before they return back to their missions. We thought that it was important that we come and spend time here at the Chinese Embassy. As I said, this is the year of South Africa in China, meaning the whole year we're showcasing South Africa's partnership with China. We're celebrating 20th anniversary of our freedom, but we're also showcasing what is it that South Africa has, South Africa's capabilities that can take South Africa's economy forward as we strengthen cultural links. Because also South Africa has just handed over the chairship of BRICS to Brazil. There is a book launch that will also be taking place here of the year of South Africa's chairmanship of BRICS last year till mid-year this year when we handed over to Brazil in Fortaleza.
All right, so that's all happening, coinciding. So it's quite a busy time. I think a lot of people, and particularly myself, I'm thinking in my mind, 126 embassies around the world. How do you prioritize what countries that South Africa is represented in, and which countries we're not represented in?
Well, South Africa, through our diplomacy of Ubuntu, with the diplomacy that champions the African agenda, because we strongly believe that the national interests of South Africa are better safeguarded with us defending the interests of the continent. If we had the wherewithal, because of the historical background that we have, because of the investment that our forebearers have planted all over the globe, because we are the product of our people's liberation struggle, and equally of international solidarity. Would have loved to have embassies all over the world, because we actually don't have a declared enemy. But as rightfully said, we have to prioritize. Out of the 193 members, if not 194 now, of the United Nations, we are represented in 126, because our resources would not allow us to be in all the countries. But we are in all the major states and countries around the world. We are in all the BRICS countries. We are in all the G7 countries. We have more than 43 embassies, missions, and consul offices in our own continent, because we prioritize our neighborhood. We champion peace, security, and development. So that's what guides where we open a mission first. Secondly, economic diplomacy and continuation of our socio-economic, socio-cultural ties equally.
All right. So that gives us an understanding as to why. But that's it's a huge representation around the world of South Africa, which is comforting for us. BRICS. It's the most prominent international relationship that South Africa has. In fact, I don't know if you remember, but I remember very, very clearly, it was right here on Morning Live where we actually launched BRICS. BRICS took place. It was something that you stood on that podium. It was a very proud moment for South Africa. There was a lot of anticipation ahead of it. Has it proved fruitful? Is it beneficial for us?
More than fruitful. You're right that it's quite ironic that here we are now, having brought all our ambassadors home. We are here to launch a book of a year long of South Africa chairmanship of BRICS at the Chinese embassy, because our first admission in BRICS was in Sanya, China. This journey has been a very short but very fruitful journey. Trade and investment cooperation between BRICS countries has been skyrocketing. Just with China alone, the embassy was confirming more than $64 billion of trade in this financial year. It has gone up by 36%. So we really are very happy with our relations with the BRICS countries. Our president is concluding his working visit in Russia. The trade relations in a year's time has ballooned to $1 billion, something we've never had with Russia before. We always bragged about historical political ties, but trade and investment ties have always been very low. But now that we've joined BRICS, we see a lot. I mean, we've just launched the first ever new development bank by majority developing countries as BRICS. Something that a year ago people thought was just a dream. It's a reality now. We have also confirmed that we will, and also launch the currency reserves mechanisms. That is, if there is a need for us to cushion any other country who would have needs to be assisted, if there's a financial crisis in a given country, BRICS countries will use their virtual resources to help the member country out. So there's just so much that we've done in the 6 years that we've joined BRICS.
6 years? Was that 6 years ago?
We are
That's
about
amazing.
3 years, but BRICS is 6 years.
But it's been 3 years for South Africa.
Yes.
Just very quickly, Minister, before I let you go in, and I do need to wrap now. It is important to note that, I mean, yes, BRICS is very important for us, but relations between the other countries in the world are just as important for us. And I think what's been a very historic moment was this African leaders going to the US and the mission that was held in the US. And it was an incredible scene to witness from the outside.
Yes.
Firstly, what was it like being there, and was it beneficial for South Africa to be there?
Well, when we joined BRICS, and all BRICS member states have been saying, we are forming BRICS, we are joining BRICS, not against other countries. BRICS countries want peaceful coexistence, economic relations with all member states around the world, but of the UN. But having said that, we think BRICS gives us an opportunity to chart a new path, to give an alternative voice to the traditional powers that are. Some people call us, or some people call us emerging powers.
Yeah.
We don't complain as long as we provide that alternative voice. South Africa trade and has investment relations with the US, as China does and all other member countries of BRICS. We accepted the invitation to go to the US, but we think that was the first. It was an inaugural summit. So we believe that there's still so much that needs to be done with Africa-USA relations. This was just an inception.
All right. It was just the start of great things to come.
Indeed.
Minister, thank you very much. Good luck with this meeting and the conference that's taking place currently. It's the annual Heads of Mission Conference. It's always an exciting lifestyle, but it's a tough lifestyle. I suppose living overseas, always moving to different countries and representing your country, wherever you may be, learning a new language, learning different cultures. But that's the representation that we have for South Africa. And this is the Minister who heads it all up.
Thank you very much, Lian. I am looking forward to our trip to China.
Yes.
To co-chair the first joint working group that takes our economic and trade relations forward, which will be a precursor for President Zuma's state visit to China as we conclude the year of South Africa in China in this year as we celebrate our 20th anniversary.
Fantastic. Good luck with that mission. Thank you very much. That was our minister talking to us here on Morning Live, Miss Maite Nkoana-Mashabane. All right, let's go back to